Okay, hey, it's Mega here. You probably can't see my face in the video right now, but so what we're going to be doing right now, this is part of the Litespeed battery charger video, and I'm going to see, supposedly we can charge from an onboard inverter on my minivan. So my van is equipped with I think it's a 450 watt inverter. I should probably double check before we start. Sorry about the wind. One of the reasons I bought the variable charging charger is so I could turn the amperage or the current all the way down to like 1 or 2 amps, and I could charge it while I'm driving. You know, not so it doesn't overwhelm your vehicle's charging system or inverter. I tell you this, I've tried it with the Sauron charger, the stock Sauron charger, and like it doesn't work. Is what I'm gonna say. It'll plug in and it'll fire up, you know, but once you plug the battery in and it starts charging, it just kills the inverter. It just falls flat, you know. So we're gonna see we'll see if we can get it to charge with this. So that way, you know, when I'm driving around and you know, I could charge the battery while I'm driving to the next trail or something, you know, that kind of thing. Or if I'm driving home, you know. So that's the reason I bought this charger, so I could lower the current so I can do that. So today we're gonna have a little experiment. So supposedly it should charge. So we're gonna see if it actually does. So let me see how many amps my inverter is. Okay, Mega has installed a 750 watt inverter in his van, and I have it hooked up directly to the battery. So all right, so 750 watts. Let's see how many amps we can push through that charger. But we're trying to get how many watts. So let's try to figure out how many watts we can pump through this bad boy. So 750 is supposedly the max. I don't know how. I think that's the surge amps though. That's like the highest it'll take, you know, to get an whatever electrical appliance you're trying to get started. So let's say, what's 5 times 120 volts? Okay, that's 600. That's 600 watts. So I think 5 amps is probably pretty close to how we want. I picked the right one. Now let's try 6. So 720. So we should be able to do about 5 amps max. Okay, that's what I'm thinking. 5 amps max. 6 is you're getting pretty close to 750. You probably don't want to push it that much. Okay, but the max we'll go up to is 6. How about that? Because 7 amps. Well, anyway, the inverter it'll just stop working when we get to too much power. So, but 7 amps is already 840 watts. So this is it's the power equation. it's volts times amps equals power watts. So the inverter is rated in watts. Okay, Ismeg is not the brightest electrical person, you know, but I have taken some electronics classes, so I kind of know what I'm talking about. Okay, some college level electronics classes. All right, so yeah, so we probably don't want to exceed 5 or 6 watts, but we will push it. We'll push it. Okay, and for this experiment, we will have the van idling. Okay, so we don't drain the battery on it. But I'd imagine 5 or 6 amps is the most you're gonna, and that's already half. That's already half of the voltage that half of the current the Sauron battery charges that are already anyways. So it should work. I mean, the stock one was almost enough, but not quite. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna go fire up the van. do is turn the amps all the way down. All right, turn the current all the way down, and then I'm gonna plug it in to the inverter right here. I got a little power strip right here that goes to the inverter. Turn it on. Okay, power's on. This works. All right, now we're gonna go plug the charger in to the battery. Boom. Connected. Okay, so far so good. Should have a 1 on it. There we go. So it's charging at 1 amp right now. Okay. At the lowest setting, it charges at 1 amp. Okay. Let me make sure my alternator. Ooh, yeah, it is putting some strain on the alternator right now. I can see that I have a little meter on my van that tells me how much the alternator is eating up. Oh, it's because my fan is on full blast. But see, the alternator is charging in the green, in the normal, so that's good. Okay, so we're charging at 1 amp. It does work, so hooray! We can charge at 1 amp while we're driving. Okay, now let's jack it up to 2 amps. Okay, now it's 2 amps. I don't hear the inverter complaining. When the inverter is going to start, when the inverter doesn't have enough power, it'll start beeping and it'll cut the power off. So that's how we know, hey, we can't take any more. So we're at 2 amps right now. We'll check out the alternator. Okay, it looks like it's doing okay. Still green. I'd imagine if you're running all the electronics and stuff, you probably want to keep the amps down a little bit. Okay, and then now we're gonna go jack it up to 3 amps. Oh, it just died. So 3 amps is the max, apparently, at idle. Maybe if we gave it a little more juice from the alternator, it'll be fine. I don't know, but the inverter just took a dump right now. So you can charge at 1 amp and 2 amps. So 2 amps is the maximum I can charge with a 750 watt crappy Harbor Freight inverter on my van. Okay, and now I'm sure if you had a beefier inverter, it probably could do better. I mean, it looks like the inverter is getting plenty of power from the van. It's not the van that's limiting the power. It's the inverter, and I can hear the fan running on it too. So, but it's charging. That's the good thing. So you can charge while you're driving the van. So, okay, so let's try to put it up to 3 again and see what happens. Yep, that's it. It just dies. It'll probably try to go back to 3 amps and it'll kill it again. Yeah. Okay. Turn it all the way down. So there we go. It works. It works. That's an experiment. Hades Omega was able to do 2 amps. Charge at 2 amps inside the van. So 2 amps. How long would that take to charge this battery? Let me see. 2 amps this is a 2,160 watt hour battery. Okay. Or 30 amps an hour. Okay, so if the battery was at, let's say we're at 0%. Okay, you don't want your battery to be at 0%, but let's just theoretically say that we're at 0% charge. 30 amp hours. So that means you would have to charge it at 30 amps for 1 hour. Okay. So to fully charge the battery. So if you charge at 2 amps, it would take 15 hours to charge this battery, right? If I got my math right, yeah. It would take 15 hours to charge this battery. At 10 amps, it will take 3 hours to charge this battery, okay? So just at 2 amps, 2 amps, it will take 15 hours to charge this battery. You would have to be driving the van for 15 hours to fully charge. You will get a charge on your battery, but you will not get a significant amount of charge at 2 amps. Okay. I'm assuming maybe maybe if you, I just put it on 2 amps. Let's see if we can like charge it for a few minutes at 2 amps. But I think 2 amps is perfectly fine with this 750 watt inverter. I think if I got like a 1,000 watt inverter, it would do better. So as you saw, you know, the math, Hades Omega calculated that we could do 5 or 6 amps, but apparently we can't. You know, there's a lot of losses and stuff to go over, you know. Yeah, so that's the dealie right there. 2 amps. 2 amps is the max that this one will do. So in theory, Hades Omega, so yeah, we're gonna be very scientific about this. In theory, on paper, we should have been able to do 5 or 6 amps. But in a real life experiment, you know, with the equipment that Hades Omega has, I can't fully explain, but you know, we can only do like 2 amps max before that inverter starts crying. Okay, let's see if we could do it without the van on. Probably could do it. Oh, just killed it. Oh, not enough power. Okay, let's put it on 1 amp. Oh, it won't do it. It won't do it. The van has to be on. It's charging though. It's charging, but it's complaining it wants more power. So we need to turn the van on. All right, yeah, it's complaining. So if we give it power, there we go. Okay, so there you go. Now Hades Omega took the experiment a bit further. So to charge, oh, my lights are on. Hold on, let me turn my lights off. There we go. My running lights are on, so that eats up some power. So okay, we'll try this again. I just realized my running lights are on. 2 amps. Well, you can already hear it. You can hear the engine get louder because it's trying to, the alternator is trying to produce more power. At 3 amps, that's it, and it's not going to go any more than that, even with the running light. So there you go. I think it's the inverter. I think that's limiting it right there. But with the van on, you can charge up to 2 amps. With the I know, and you may screw up your alternator. So I don't really recommend charging in the van, dude. Well, there you go. You can charge 2 amps. If you're riding on a freeway, I think that should be okay. You know, as long as your alternator is not pulling too much power. Like if I turn all the, oh yeah, look at that. See, if I turn the fan on, it makes the alternator even worse. Oh yeah, it's not even working at all. So now we got to do 1 amp. So you could charge it. You could charge it very slowly. 1 amp. Holy crap, man! Not a lot, dude. You can't charge it a lot at all, man. Yeah, with the fan on, and you're gonna want to drive with the fan on in this van, and unless it's a cold day, you wouldn't want to drive with the fan on. So, but yeah, you'll be driving. I think if you're on like the freeway or something, your engine's gonna be spinning faster. It's gonna be providing more power. So you could probably charge it at 2 amps if you're on the freeway or just you're moving most of the time. So okay, there you go, man. But that was one of the reasons I bought this charger, so it could be less, so you could charge it at a lower current while you're driving with the inverter. And I just showed you that you can do it. You can do it up to 2 amps, at least with the inverter that Hades Omega has on his van right now. So I guess it's better than nothing. Because the Litespeed charger will not charge at all. This 10 amps is just was too much for the so the battery cannot provide, the onboard battery cannot provide enough power to charge the battery, and but with the alternator on, it can. but I would just charge it at 1 amp, to tell you the truth, man. So I can already tell it's making that alternator work a little bit harder than it normally does. So you don't want to fry your alternator. So I would charge it at 1 amp. So at least you get something. Just in case you guys don't know, it's gonna take 30 hours to charge this at 1 amp. Okay. If you were to trickle charge this at 1 amp, it would take 30 hours. So that's how long it takes. So okay, so the next test is we're gonna use a generator, 2,000 watt generator, and we'll see how many amps we can pull off of that bad boy. That's what I would normally use when we're camping. All right, here's my go. Experiment over.